What's up, guys? It's your boy Jabberboy188 here, and boy have I got a video for you guys. I'm going to be doing the Japanese Grand Prix race commentary at Suzuka on F1 2013. Like I said, really, it's finally out. Can't believe it. After so much time, so much delays, we finally get it on our hands. And like I said, I'm going to be posting 5 videos. Sorry for that communication there. I said 4, but it's meant to be 5 because of the Indian Grand Prix in 2 weeks time. So yeah, folks, I'm going to be driving as Nico Hulkenberg. 25%, which means it'll be a 13-lap race, safety car on, expert difficulty. And here is the track guide for Japan.
Suzuka, here we go on the build up towards this lap. Make sure you take a nice wide entry into that final chicane. That allows you to build up the speed nicely onto the start finish straight. One of the best circuits in the world coming up here from inside the cockpit of a Formula 1 car. Down the hill in towards turn 1. Hang on in there as you feel the G-force build up on your body as the corner tightens. On the exit, use a bit of the curve, and now this is where the tricky bit starts. Use that momentum and flick the car left to right, and then left to right again. It's all about momentum here and change of direction at high speed. You don't want to back out of it in this complex of corners. As we head up the hill now towards the Degner curves, bring the car back over to the left-hand side. Don't be greedy though and carry too much speed in, because that curve on the left is waiting for you. Down 2 more gears, Degner 2. Use all that curve available. Under the bridge we go towards turn 11. Straighten the car up and then slow it all back down into second gear. Minimum speed of around 50 miles an hour here. Watch out for the traction, not too much curb on the exit there, because you want to keep that momentum as we climb up the hill now towards the spoon curve. The right-hander, you feel the G-force on your body, and then slow it down for the left-hander, the first part of the spoon curve, and then it slows down even further, tightens up at the apex, but you need to carry that speed, because once again the track rises up the hill into 6th and then 7th, and use the curves as well as the 130R corner comes up, 7th gear, full throttle. Hang on in there and hold your breath for this corner on the circuit. Use all the track available. This is an overtaking opportunity as well come Sunday, but slow it all back down into second gear, flick the car right and then left over the curve on the left hand side and fit the car out using all of the track available around the outside of the circuit, and that's a lap of Suzuka.
Oh, apologies for the cracking noises on the TV. It's been doing some weird little things, you know, yesterday and all that, so sorry about that. I think at the end of the year I'm going to get a new TV, so yeah, I think you're going to get a better quality this time around. And anyway, I'm hopefully going to get a capture card at the end of the year, so yeah, folks, fingers crossed that we get our first proper, like, gameplay without this. So yeah, because I've started to get a bit annoyed about it, but yeah, folks. So going into the garage, gonna be using a very high, very low setup, even though the track is very sort of, I think in the middle sector there's a lot of slow corners, and I'm gonna be starting on the option tyre as it suggests. I'm going to be pitting on lap 6. I'm going to actually pit... Actually, no, I'll pit on lap 5. So I'm going to pit on lap 5. I'm going to run on the cautious fuel strategy. And yeah, let's do this.
All complete. We're ready.
So, here we go, guys. Our first ever F1 2013 race. We start 9th. We've got Prix ahead and Grosjean behind. What's going to happen? And it's go, go, go at Japan. We're getting a good start off the line. We're getting a good start off the line. We're coming into the first corner. Raikkonen covering off a McLaren there of Perez. I'm right behind the 2 Red Bulls of Vettel and Webber as we head our way into the S-curves. All the cars holding station. Vettel, Webber pulling out to try and overtake Vettel there as I run onto the grass there, but I'm going to use my flashback. Making our way through the S-curves, running a bit wide there because Webber was. I didn't want to hit the back of Webber as he was checking up behind Vettel. Coming into this next corner, running over the grass there as we make our way down into the hairpin here at Suzuka. Rear end fighting hard as we exit the hairpin down the main straight. Really trying to overtake Webber, but that Red Bull's so mighty through the mid corners. The Sauber not very good on like tractions. I know that was what made Hulkenberg win the race, but I'm not skilled. I'm not as skilled as Hulkenberg. So yeah, folks, that's the reason why this Sauber isn't handling like the Sauber you saw in Korea. As we make our way to the end of the first lap. By the way, this is a 13-lap race for those who didn't know. As we make our way down the straight, I'm almost side by side with Mark Webber. I'm going to pull out. I'm going to pull back so that I don't run into Mark Webber and get a penalty. So, heading into the S-curves, trying to stick right behind with Webber as we got Perez, and Perez taking a look up the inside. Perez taking a look on the inside as well, but nowhere to go for Perez there as he tries to pass the Sauber of Hulkenberg. Braking hard, going through the tunnel, into the hairpin. 2 Red Bulls finding it out. Gutierrez still right at the back, and he's like 18, 19. I know probably that like that. As we make our way into Spoon. So yeah, folks, what do I think of F1 2013? I think it's an okay game. I've been playing it since Friday. It's alright. You know, the first day I was like, whoa, this is really weird. Like the physics are really changed, and I really don't like the physics now. I really liked it back in 2011 because it felt like I could play with it more. I could really, it was more flexible, more sort of better in terms of traction works. But now, you know, it's really difficult. You know, the car wheel spins, you know, on first gear, you know, coming out of corners. So, and it really makes it tricky for me to get a quick lap. So yeah, and the graphics look really good, you know, they've really done a good job with the graphics. I really appreciate that, and I also appreciate that they've put in, I mean, it just looks better. It looks much better. The cars, you know, they look much better than 2012 when it was all a bit, you know, it was a tiny bit, you know, blurry and it really didn't make it look fantastic. But now, you know, it just looks absolutely amazing. Really amazing. I got big congrats from Codemasters for making a great game. So yeah. and also the F1 Classics. You know, I really like them. I haven't got the 90s cars yet. I accidentally got the standard version. I was thinking of getting the classic version, but I thought like I just accidentally did it. It's difficult. It's like there wasn't any there wasn't any classic Xbox 360 F1 2013 editions on the stalls. So I was like, I didn't know what to do. So I thought if I go to Asda, you know, like I was thinking like, alright, Asda, that could be more expensive. So I thought like, alright, this must be the cheapest. And I thought, you know, I thought that the classic edition wouldn't have the classic edition. So as we get DRS, so I decided to get the standard edition. And anyway, you know, it's just like I've just been thinking a lot, and you know what? To be honest, you know, I really love the 80s cars. I would, and what I did there was the right decision, because although I'm missing out on loads of cars and loads of tracks, it doesn't matter, you know, because I'm still gonna have a hell of a lot of fun, you know, on the modern tracks with the 80s cars. So yeah, folks, I'm really digging that, the 80s cars. My favourite being the I think the 86 Lotus. I think that's my favourite. It just looks so quick. I mean, it just looks so amazing. So yeah, I mean, the 86 Lotus. And my favourite track, Brands Hatch. Why? Because it's a track that I know very, very well, because I've been there loads of times, you know, and it was my first time going to a real life racing on that track, so that was good. And yeah, I mean, just a good flowing track in my opinion. So yeah, folks, pulling away from Perez now, we're going back to the action now. So as we come into the 130R, load of people pitting, we're up to 5th place. The fuel's now onto optimum. That's another thing that's really been bugging me a lot, you know, the fuel thing. The fuel's more harsher this time round than it was in F1 2012. On F1 2012 you'll have like probably 6 laps of fuel left. 6 plus 6 laps of fuel left, and you would have to try and save that to get that to the end. But now it's more harsher. It's like now 1 plus, so it's really hard, and you're having to fuel save more than you did on F1 2012. So, and that's something that they really need to improve for F1 2014, because it was more nice, it was more better, you know, for the player. You know, they could go more faster, more often, and in races. Whereas now you can't go. You can only go like, well, I'm doing like 5 laps, and it's on optimum. So yeah, I mean, it's just not. I mean, some people are going to say like, oh, it's fine, you know, it's almost half a race system. What are you talking about? I know that, but look, 5 laps out of 13, halfway. I think it's like 6.5. That's not. Like, I was expecting I was expecting the optimum thing to go up probably at lap 8 or something like that. No, it's at 5. So yeah, I think it's something that they really need to improve for next year. Another thing that I like is the scenario modes. They've done a really good job with that. They've added more sort of varieties of challenges, you know, like teammates, rookie, championship thing. As we run a bit wide, and Raikkonen all over the back of me as we come up to the 130R. Raikkonen in my slipstream. I'm defending the inside. What's going to happen? Here we go, all going onto the grass there. Raikkonen having a look on the outside into the Casio chicane. Running a bit wide there as Raikkonen's all over the back, and I picked to change onto the prime tyres, and so does Raikkonen. So it's a pit stop race between me and Raikkonen for 6th place or 7th. And yep, getting a good pit stop coming out, and I am still ahead of Raikkonen. As where are we going to feed out? Vettel, Webber come out ahead of me, and I feed out 11th. So that's still a good position, you know. If we can get a top 10 out of this, that would still be good. And anyway, I think there's a couple of cars that need to pit as well, so I think we should be okay in terms of getting in the top 10, unless we get like a punch or we smash into the wall and break our front wing. Then I think we should be okay. Coming into the degness here. So yeah, folks, back to F1 2013, I am going to give F1 2013 a 7 out of 10. Like I said, you know, I've said all the things, so yeah, I've said all the things that need to be said, and yeah, 7 out of 10 in my opinion. So yeah, so back to the action, 11th at the moment, trying to chase down Webber and Vettel here in Suzuka as we run a bit wide. Oh no, not very good for the German drivers. Raikkonen hot on my heels, coming into the 130R. I'm going to defend the inside as we come into the Caggio hairpin, braking hard, or the Caggio chicane. Coming down the main straight to complete lap 6 onto lap 7. Here comes Raikkonen down the main straight, side by side, and Raikkonen takes it. Kimi Raikkonen takes 7th place, and I'm battling with Perez, and I hit Perez by accident. I didn't mean to. I was trying to take Raikkonen down into that second corner. Through the S-curves we go, trying to chase down Perez. I'm right on the back of Perez. As I get round the back, I'm in this slipstream. I haven't got any curves left because I was using it to defend from Raikkonen when he was passing me. Coming into the hairpin. Oh, I was almost going to think of doing, I was thinking of doing a Perez on Hamilton sort of thing like that in last year, where Perez went round the inside of Hamilton and I almost ran into the side of Hamilton there to take, I think it was 6th place. Coming into Spoon. This is the part that I really struggle at, you know, this is a real doozy corner for me, in my opinion. Because I always turn in, you know, when it sort of starts to get a little bit cambered in. Coming into the Caggio hairpin. Caggio chicane, my bad. Coming out of this corner, you really want to be going wide so you can get a good sort of run down the main straight. And especially when you're in a slipstream or something, you really want to get a good, you really want to maximise your sort of exits so you can get a good run. To have a chance of passing the car in front, in which case it's Perez here. Front really going. That's something that really needs to improve. You know, I think I'm just really struggling with the front. You know, and it's causing the tyres to wear out, and that's really unfair for me because I'm doing everything to keep the tyres okay, but the trouble is that whenever I try and fight the car, the tyres go off. As you can see there, look, it's yellow. I really want it to be sort of like a light, sort of a tiny light yellow, but no, look at that, it's just almost gone orange. So I've really got to be careful in terms of, you know, in terms of not getting on the power really early. That would make the tyres, you know, spin up, which would lose me grip. So I've passed Perez, and can I close up to Grosjean? Oh, front end going. See, that's another thing, you know, that's just something that I'm really struggling with that area when I'm racing generally. So, Suzuka, track that's filled up a lot of good memories. The most memorable being 1996, where Murray Walker said, "I've got to stop because I've got a lump in my throat," and he actually did. Did have a lump in his throat. And a really great moment in Formula One at Suzuka. You know, just it made when I first watched that moment, it was so amazing and it was so memorable and emotional in both ways, and really something that a lot of people are saying that it's their greatest moment. Greatest moment, in my opinion, would have to be 1989 with Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost battling for the World Championship. Alain Prost had to hope and pray Ayrton was out of the race, and Prost and Ayrton had to win the race to keep it going to Australia. And they fought hard. They fought like dogs throughout the race. And coming into the Casio hairpin, as we come to the Casio hairpin as well, Senna made a move. Senna dived up the inside, and it wasn't that, and it didn't work, and they both collided, which meant that Prost was out of the race. And but Ayrton managed to keep going and managed to win the race, even though that he lost it. Even though he had to pit to change his front wing. And after that, the FIA disqualified him from the race because he didn't, do the whole sort of. He didn't do the whole thing. So yeah, they disqualified him. Really a bit harsh from the FIA, but I think, to be honest, it was run by Jean-Marie Blesque, and John was French and Alain Prost was French, so you would sometimes see, the penalties always favouring Prost a lot. So, and I think, to be honest, that's just I think that's absolutely harsh. And I think that's just sort of like, I think that's just in that day a corruption by Jean-Marie Blesque, and I'm so glad that he's not there at the moment. I'm so glad that there's a good one like Charlie. He's done a good job with the FIA at the moment, in terms of penalties, safety, all those types of things, and he's really brought the F1 series right to the level of safety that it needs to be as we head into the Casio hairpin chicane. With 4 laps to go, I've got Raikkonen hot on my heels, and I'll win 5th. I don't know what's happened there. As here comes Raikkonen. Raikkonen taking a look around the outside. We make contact. Raikkonen goes off the road. And that was it. Raikkonen should have backed out of that. I was committed to that corner. Raikkonen should have backed out of that move, because 2 into 1, going to turn 1, that's not going to work. You need to have just the greatest drivers in F1 to make that work. And of course, I'm not great, and Raikkonen is great, so yeah. So up to 5th place. I'm going to try and see if I can close up to Grosjean for 4th place. But either way, if I get a 5th, that'll be a great result for Hulkenberg and myself, because I'm running on the expert difficulty, and this difficulty is really hard, and so yeah, folks, and as you saw there, Raikkonen and Perez, really look like they were, if they were released, they could have pulled like a second or two on me, probably per 2 laps. So yeah, I mean, really difficult, really hard to, to keep up with the pace of these cars. As we head into the Casio chicane. So yeah, back to the whole history thing. I'm 5 seconds ahead, by the way. So back to the history. Remember 2011 where Sebastian Vettel won the championship by finishing 3rd place after having the most dominant season, I think, in Formula 1 for a while. I think from the days of Schumacher in 2000, right? So yeah, I mean that was a good result by Vettel on that day, because he literally was just in a different race, or even better, in a different championship on that year, because that car, and by the way, that car had blown diffusers, and as you all know, that blown diffuser makes the car, quicker. So yeah, and it brings exhaust. I think it brings exhaust to the tires, and then it goes into the diffuser, which makes the car quicker and makes it grip more. And that was what made Sebastian who he was. And yeah, and then after that in 2012, it got banned, and then Vettel was really struggling. And yeah, great job by the FIA to ban the diffusers, the little blown diffuser things, because I thought they were an absolute I think they were just plain out cheating, with that little thing, because I know it was a good thing, I know it was a new thing, a brand new thing in Formula 1, but I just thought, back in that day, I just thought, that's just cheating, man, that's just cheating. So yeah, Suzuka's brought out a lot of good memories, and yeah, and I can't wait for this year. Tip for victory, I think it's going to be Vettel. Why? Because he's just won the last couple of races. He's been so dominant. He has won this last year. He knows the track really, really well, and yes, and yeah, just so good at this track. So yeah, folks, tip for victory will be Sebastian Vettel, as we are back for the action. We are in the last lap. I don't know what happened to the guy ahead of me, but yeah, I am now actually in 4th place. I was in 5th until actually I was in 6th, but Vettel pitted for some odd reason, and then I was 5th. But then I don't know what happened. I don't know what's happened. Maybe hopefully we'll get a good answer probably in the standings, but I don't know. I don't know what's happened there, so probably they might have lost their front wing or had a puncture of. So bummer for the guy that was right in the top 3, because Grosjean was ahead of me. He was 4th, so, and Grosjean moved up to 3rd, so he might have been one of the top 2, the top 3. So there we go. We take 5th place. Brilliant result for Nico Hulkenberg in the Sauber, doing an excellent job as always. Fastest lap 1 minute 38.6. So Fernando Alonso wins, Felipe Massa 2nd, Ferrari 1-2 there. Romain Grosjean 3rd. I'm in 4th. I was in 4th. Jenson Button was 5th. Adrian Searle was 6th. Mark Webber was 7th. Sebastian Vettel was 8th. Esteban Gutierrez was 9th. Paul Di Resta was 10th. Daniel Ricciardo 11th. Jean-Eric Verne was 12th. 13th was Kimi Raikkonen. 14th was Lewis Hamilton. 15th was Jules Bianchi. 16th was Valtteri Bottas. 17th was Max Chilton. 18th was Charles Pic. 19th was Pastor Maldonado. 20th was Guido van der Garde. 21st was Nico Rosberg. And 22nd was Sergio Perez. So there we go, folks. Thank you very much for watching. It's your boy Jabba Boy. I'm out. Peace.